Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Community Listens mini refresher series. We have been hearing from many of you over the past couple of weeks with this unique situation that we find ourselves in, and we're learning that many of us are in a situation where now we are homeschooling our kids, working from home when maybe we haven't been used to that, and many of us finding that we are now coworkers with our spouse or our partner. And through all these changes, we realized that that has provided us with a lot of really beautiful moments and stressful moments and wonderful moments and irritating moments and everything in between. But what that also means is that now that we're spending so much extra time with the people in our span of care, we are also presented with a lot more choices throughout the day. Choices about what kind of message we want to be setting in our homes, what kind of message we want to be sending to the people that we love and care for. So welcome to today's topic, which is on personal recognition messages. Now, I'd like to tell you that I picked this topic because I was so busy this morning thinking of all of the wonderful things that I appreciated about my two girls, which are ages 11 and 4. But that would not be honest. So I will say that what I did find this morning was that I was in a mode of correcting behaviors. I was constantly finding myself pointing out things that I was hoping to adjust or to tweak or that would be done differently. And then I walked into my kids' bathroom and opened up the top drawer to grab something and found this very well-worn paper card. And on it was a personal recognition message that I had written our oldest daughter, Ellie, 2 years ago. A card that she has continued to kept in a spot where she would see it every single day as a reminder of what I appreciated and valued about her. And I thought, what a great reminder. So today we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about personal recognition messages. When we talk about these in class, we talk about the fact that it's different than I love you or I'm proud of you or some of that generic feedback that we tend to give to people. Instead, we want to look at what is the very specific behavior that they're doing, how does it make us feel when they do it, and what is the impact that it has. Now, personal recognition messages are incredibly helpful in making people around us feel valued and appreciated and really seen for what they contribute. On top of that, we also get a benefit out of that as well, because for us, it actually can help us to retrain our brain. Imagine that instead of walking in and being aware of all of the things that could be different, that instead our brain will start actively looking for the things that we appreciate, scanning the environment for positive things that we can provide feedback on. Dr. John Gottman, a researcher, sometimes talks about this fact that when we do it over and over and over again for people in our span of care, it actually creates what he calls a positive sentiment override, which means that the next time that person comes and does something that kind of bugs us a little, we start to actually see that behavior as an anomaly, not really who they are. Whereas if we instead choose to let our brain continually focus on the things that bug us or aren't quite the way that we would like them, that actually creates a negative sentiment override. Now, when we talk about delivering an FBI recognition message, right, feelings, behavior, and impact, that could look really differently depending on the person in our relationship. So for me, for my 4-year-old, Audrey, that might mean, Audrey, I love it when you come in between my phone calls to give me a big hug. It makes me so happy and helps me to focus more on my next call. For Ellie, my 11-year-old, it might look like, thank you so much for getting up every morning and doing all of your chores without having to have me ask you. I am so proud of how responsible you've become, and it makes me really excited about all of these new things that you're trying to take on. I will say for my husband, Jonathan, depending on the day, there are often like 7 or 8. That tends to be the one that comes a lot easier for me or more natural. But I think the past couple days, what I would probably pick would be to say, when you take time in the morning to sit and have a cup of coffee and talk before we start our day, it makes me feel so loved and cared for and helps me to feel like I get my day off on the right start. As you leave this, I would challenge you to think about every single person in your home right now that you are continually spending time with. And think about what is a specific behavior that they're doing that you value or appreciate or is meaningful for you. And then figure out what is that behavior actually making you feel and the impact that it's having on you or your environment or the household dynamic. And then take a little bit of time to share that with them today. And if you're not wanting to do it verbally, please feel free to write it down. Maybe they will end up being like my daughter Ellie, and you will find it years down the road tucked away in a drawer somewhere. Thank you for listening to this session of our Community Listens mini refresher series.